I can't remember our subject again. Oh
The
yes, yes,
story, the
yes, yes,
story.
yes. Your story. So everybody, if you're on your platforms, well, don't step out of, because if they go check now, it won't work. But they won't. They'll
You
have
know
to
what we
step
should
out
have
of
done? This is important. We should have those videos like we did when we could
preset
yes,
like we
so we can
should.
actually
Yeah,
show
that's
what
a
we're
good
talking
idea.
about.
That's a
Because
good
when you
idea.
say something, for those that are listening that are in sales, you always have to have the written the visual of what you're
Yes.
saying.
So what were you saying during that
So
live?
I this morning came across my Google Calendar
Yeah,
because I don't usually use Google,
but you
but
don't
I
use
use
it
an
at its
app.
full
I
capacity.
use this thing called iCal. And this morning, my renewal, because I've been procrastinating, I didn't renew the license for iCal.
That's a great example for you guys. Do
That's
not
right.
do what he's doing.
But you know why? I'm going to tell you why I didn't renew it.
Talk to me.
This is a great example. It's because it's a passive activity. It's going to take me 15 minutes, 20 minutes, because I got to go find the key code and then I got to reinstall it in 17 platforms because I have it on my phone, on my iPad, on my two phones. I got three phones. It's long. So that's a passive activity. So I've been putting it aside. But that's not the point. The point is that I had to go into Google because I couldn't access iCal. And then
Right.
when I went in, I saw a thing on the top left that says, did you know that you spend 24, 25 hours a week average over the last 4 weeks in one-to-one or one-on-one meetings?
Right.
And I thought,
Oh,
this
that's
is great.
fantastic.
I need to share this because it's something that I talk about all the time about the number of meetings. The more people you meet, the more you're
Yes.
closer to obviously conversion. So everybody tracks the number of meetings,
Yep.
but do we spend time looking at per week? How much time does that actually mean? So if you're less than 50, 60%, and you're trying to change your current situation because you're frustrated with your results,
Of course.
then look at that parameter. And so when I put it up on my stories. I had someone write to me right away, which is, well, you know who he is. He's
Yeah.
a famous mortgage broker. And he said, and he's very successful, but he says, oh, I'm going to check that out right away because it is important. Because are you spending more time doing administrative things? It will tell you in a way, because if it's not a meeting, you wouldn't put it into your calendar.
That's right.
It
You're
would be
right.
a to do.
True.
So I thought this was an interesting thing.
So you're
And
spending out of the 30 hours a week you work, you're
30.
spending
But let's say it's a 40-hour week. Most people spend 37 and a half to 40, right?
Yeah.
Would you say like 9 to
Yeah,
5
it's
ish?
it's 9 to 5.
That would be 40 hours if it's 9 to 5, 8:30 to 5, whatever. 25 hours would be
well,
slightly more
20
than.
24 hours, it's 60%.
So that's a good sign. And that's why our business is growing. If you are if you're in sales,
Yes.
if you don't have 17 departments. Now, we talked about that. We're talking here to
I
mostly.
didn't say
No, but in the
anything.
French, you kind of went off into the
Well,
yes,
no,
but
well,
I'm
because you were
talking to.
because you tried to tell me that I'm not spending
Yeah,
a lot of
I was trying
meaning,
to
and I was
pick
like,
on you
yeah,
because
sure.
Gabriel's not here. So who am I going to pick on? If you're a solopreneur, if you're a real estate
Yes,
broker, you don't have employees or other brokers that you delegate certain things to. You got to look at that parameter,
of course.
and your sales or your business development has to be at least minimum 50% of your time spent on your business. So this thing just tells you if you're on the right track or not.
Well, they're also going to tell you, because we all always feel, or often people feel that they're busy, right?
Yeah.
And they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm busy. I'm doing some stuff." But if you're actually tracking all the things that you do during your week, then you'll be able to really assess: are you actually busy towards things that are growing your business, or you're
So
busy just to be busy?
that's this next step, right? Tracking all the activities that you do. But
Right.
for most people that I've spoken to, talked to, met, brokers, I mean, they don't track pretty much nothing. So I think it's a good start to just go. That was the essence of this morning when I put the story up.
Yeah.
If you just go start with that, because you don't, any meeting you usually take, you put it in your calendar so that the app will actually tell you. But yes, the next step after would be what you just said. Track everything, the calling, the emailing, the texting, and how much time you spend on that. The social media, looking at
Yeah.
YouTube videos, like how much time are you actually spending on what activity? Because in the end, we all have the same amount of time. Everybody talks about the 24 hours. Yeah, but are you focused on the right activity during
Right.
those 24 for you to get to a certain result? And again, we are talking to those that are unhappy with their current
That's
situation.
right.
If your life is great and your business is great, then just keep
Do
doing whatever the hell
do
you're
do
doing.
you do you? But if you're spending, I don't know, 40 hours in your business, or you're spending 20 hours on your business,
And you're
or
not
whatever it
seeing the
is,
results.
well, ask yourself why. That means if throughout those 40 hours or 20 hours you only have one, two, three meetings, it's not going to happen.
7 years ago,
Yeah.
roughly, I was spending the same amount of time on my business as I am today. But 7 years ago, the business was going downhill. Now I was busy, so I thought. I mean, I wasn't. I'm not a lazy guy. I was working, but I was working on the wrong things.
You're right.
So that's where the power of, well, what am I working on and what should be the priority? That's easy to understand, but it's hard to implement and do
Of
and be
course.
conscious of, because when you're self-employed, you're the boss and
You
you're the
are.
employee. So,
You have to wear multiple hats.
but the employee hat's going to be lazy, or tend to favor the activities that are easier or more comfortable to do because it's human nature. I'm not saying she's looking at me with a face or an expression of, I'm not saying all employees are lazy. I'm saying human beings, generally speaking, will want to choose the easiest path.
But I agree. I can't. Yeah, I agree 100%.
So if you have
I
the
agree
hat of the
100%.
employee, you're gonna want the easiest path. You're not gonna pick the hardest road to go down, or
Because
the
it's you can be the most successful person, you can be the most dedicated person. If you go into a slump, you go into a situation where you're a bit more tired, you're sick or
it's
whatever,
raining, it's
it's raining,
cloudy,
it's your back hurts, you don't want to it's gonna happen. So even
you have a
the
leak
best
in your
yeah,
home.
the best performers have those moments. So imagine the people that are less
What were you gonna
competitive are.
say? Because I'm interested, because you're
Well,
giving us signs of, I don't know.
I know I have specific moments where you
yeah.
were a bit more lazy. Everybody's like that.
Yeah, no, well, because for me, I prefer to do things where I can get in the zone doing it. Like, if you're asking me to like move tables and do setups, that's something that I don't necessarily like doing. And I actually think that's easier than the normal stuff I do. I prefer doing whatever will give me more growth. And I think that moving tables
Give
and
you
stuff, like,
more
that's
growth,
why,
or
yeah,
give the company more growth?
give, well,
No,
Aha,
aha.
in
you
a
said
sense,
it well.
but in a sense, whatever, if like scheduling posts and working on media strategy, that would help the company more
So you
than moving
think at
tables
that
and
time,
chairs. Uh-huh.
well, not necessarily. Maybe if the tables need to be moved because we have 32 potential clients coming in that we need to meet and convert,
Yeah,
the
well,
post is
yeah.
to
And
get
that
what? The posting is to get the visibility, to get the 32 opportunities. Once you have the 32
Yeah.
opportunities, you got to make sure that you
yeah,
see,
no, I,
you
I
get
I
it?
get that. Yeah, but I feel like it has to be a balance, obviously.
There's no
Like,
balance. There's no
so
balance.
you're saying I could spend the entire day moving chairs
No,
and
but
If it
tables?
is the
there's no
requirement of the
Oh,
business, yes.
okay.
And that's why it's so hard.
if that's what's required for the business to grow. For example, you're talking about the chairs and the tables and stuff. It is. Why? Because what we want to try to do with this room is gonna eclipse anything else that we're gonna do, right? Because the second that we're able to have a room like this and set it up the way we want it, it's an opportunity to create an environment for the studio. It's an opportunity to create an environment for a training, for training sessions, for group onboarding, for a bunch of stuff.
And
So
sometimes your superior, call it that, or your employer will not necessarily take the time to educate or share or communicate
the third, fourth degree.
of the activity at hand that's required.
Yep. You
So,
know, you know.
I'll-
No, but it's true.
but thank you for
A
your
couple of weeks,
comment.
a
It's,
couple of weeks ago. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, no, that's what I was like. Because normally I feel like when I'm like, oh, it's mostly like the moving the chairs part. Like, if you ask me to actually like do stuff that requires like strategy or anything with post or
but the
like
point
figure
of all
something
this,
out.
yes. But
Yeah.
let's say you're self-employed. There's no one else,
Yeah.
and it's you. And you see, you wouldn't move the chair.
Yeah. Well, I would get someone to do it for me.
Well, let's say you can't get someone else to do it for you
Okay.
because
Yeah.
you don't have the
Well,
money, or the you don't there's just no one there
Yeah.
to help you out.
Well, then yeah, that would be base level. Like I
like
would have
I'm
to do it.
we're asking you guys to do it because you guys are on so that we can work on other stuff.
We're on
But
the
if you
bottom.
weren't there, you think I wouldn't move the table? I would
Yeah.
move the table. Why? Because I need it to be done.
Yeah.
So
Because
I'm gonna give you another
I know,
example.
wait,
Yeah.
I'll give that example. For example, we were selling stuff,
Yeah.
right? You were selling stuff and you were helping us selling stuff.
Hmm.
Nobody was available to come at the office at 7:30 p.m. to make it happen and
Yeah.
for the deal to be closed, right? So what did I have to do? I have to take my son, bring him the
Yeah,
car,
that's a good
come
example.
here, take my drill, remove the thing from the wall.
But
Why?
that's what small business is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is it do I want to do that? No. I could have said, no, you know what, let's do the sell tomorrow. If a sell is there,
Mm.
you don't say no
You
to a
take
sell.
it.
You take it. And what you do, you just rearrange whatever is your environment and rearrange whatever you're doing to make it happen. Why? For the
Yeah.
growth of the business.
So to circle back to the time spent in meetings or
Yes.
in face-to-face presentations, right? To circle back to that point, 50%, 60% will be extremely uncomfortable for 99.9% of the
I agree.
population. I know because I've done it, I do it. It's very uncomfortable because there is a ton of things to do that are administrative in nature and passive and
Tons.
organization and research and prepping for this and that. And so 50% it seems like a lot to do administrative work, but generally speaking, most people spend 90 to 100% of their day on those kinds of activities,
Yes.
and then they don't get the result and they wonder why. Now I've cleared that up. We've cleared it up. So now it's perfect. Life is
No,
great.
by the way, we have a few
Yes.
people that's connected on Instagram. Here I have Omar Rasaran. It's actually a member of ours, joining as I think he's doing classes now, if I'm not mistaken. Nick Sebastiani. We have
Nick didn't answer
Simone.
me.
Nick, you got to answer.
How much time are you spending in one-on-one meetings? Check your
We
Google
have
Calendar.
Samini Zan. We have Cindy's D. We have Ziad Broker. We have Sam, another member of ours who's going to join our mortgage cabinet. We have Maria, your wife.
My wife, my beautiful wife, my patient wife, my angel.
Wow, keep going.
You know, I said some lovely things about my wife not that long ago, and we didn't even extract it. And I was quite disappointed. This
Well,
was Gabriel's, I think, responsibility that day. You
maybe
remember? I said some beautiful things, and I didn't see it back on. We got to find it.
we're gonna find it.
So that's what I had to say about that.
Good.
So, and any questions, any comments about time and how much time we spend
No, I don't have
one
any.
on one? Why do we want to do meetings one on one? Why do we want? Why am I saying that that's the most important part? Did we talk about that?
No, we did. Well, we talked
It's
about it
this.
months ago.
No, but today
Not
did
today.
we say it? Because we had the French. I don't know
No,
what I said.
very,
What I didn't
very
say.
briefly.
But why is it so important for me or someone that's in sales? Is that it's that step? That's the closest step to the conversion.
Yes.
So wouldn't you want to be in that zone, that step, if it is the closest one to conversion?
But what do you feel that you have to explain that part? Because it seems to be very logical. To meet someone, a meeting should be in person.
Yeah.
But
Well, not necessarily, but the closest one to the signing of a big ticket item or the conversion will be. I mean, if you're selling private jets, you're not going to do this online, most probably. There's going to be some of it.
I bought my jet
So,
just by text.
so prior to
My car, I bought my car.
but you had to go there to pick
Yeah,
it
to
up,
pick
and
it
that's
up.
when you exchange the money for the keys and
To
all
pick
that
it
part,
up.
right?
You're right.
So all the preliminary stuff. So I'm saying the closest step to for a real estate transaction, for a big ticket item, that trust is going to come from that face to face. You date before you get married, but it's a face to face,
True.
right? You have to do it quite a few times. So it's the same thing. We're talking about the closest step
I
before.
got
So
married after 2 dates.
well, there's
No,
always
no,
going to
it
be
wasn't.
exceptions. No, but it's kind of good that you say that because some people say, well, no, I just, yeah, those are exceptions. I'm talking about that 95, 99% of the time, what happens
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that's going to take place. So if you don't know how much time you're spending on that, in that area,
Yes.
on that step, then
At least
you got a
understand that
problem.
part. At least understand that part. It's very simple.
I'm trying to make it simple.
Here's how you make it
I
simple.
think I communicate very well.
Here's
by
how you
the way.
make it simple.
I think so.
A broker works
I'm happy
average.
he's not even.
No.
They say. I guess I don't know.
Sure.
Am I?
A broker.
Do I communicate well?
Yeah, you're okay. Your broker works what? How many hours in a week?
From 30 minutes to
Okay.
300 hours.
So let's say you work 40 hours, just to make it easy. 40 hours, you saying you should spend at least 50% of your time to.
Can I interrupt you?
Go ahead.
So it doesn't matter if it's 40 hours or 3
I
hours.
know. It's to
No, no.
make it easier.
I'm trying to clarify because I'm a good communicator.
Go ahead.
If you are doing this part time, and there's a
Yes.
lot of brokers doing it part time, and you have 3 hours a day, what I'm saying is that don't take that 3 hours and do emailing or whatever the hell you're just looking at searches on Matrix and looking for properties.
Yeah.
Spend at least half an hour and a half in front of someone. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to simplify it for everybody
So
that it'd be
and that's-
40,
exactly.
3, whatever the number is. If you do an
Spend
hour and a
at least
half,
half your time.
yes, in front of someone or doing a presentation or
Yes.
meeting a new person, and you're gonna for sure your business is gonna go in a up. In a what's the word in a growth.
And you know what? How I can even double that. You know
can
why?
double.
No, listen.
I'm listening. See,
Just
he's
listen.
not a good communicator.
Listen.
I'm a good communicator.
Sure. No, but for real, because you spends half your time on meeting people.
Minimum.
All right.
If you're unhappy with their current
With
result.
your results. So again, let's take our example. We have 40 hours. You work 40 hours. You do 20 hours of meetings. That's 20 meetings. Imagine you do those meetings
Well, not
half the
necessarily,
time.
not
No,
necessarily
no.
an hour.
I know.
Okay, I see where you go.
Ah, you like that? We're
Yes.
gonna. You like
You're
that?
cutting it in half. Well,
Huh?
yeah,
It's true.
and that's what's going to tend to happen
There you go.
because you're going to want to maximize the time. You don't want to. You don't like your pitch cycle time is different for everybody, and obviously as you start, it's going to be longer.
Of course.
But as you do more and more after 20 plus years, like myself,
Yes.
I know that I can. My peak amount of time is 45 minutes.
Yeah.
30 minutes is too short because someone's late or something happens or they want to talk to me about their cats or whatever. 45 minutes is the perfect window for me. Now, some people is going to be an hour and a half, whatever it is.
So an hour and a half. I'm not an hour and a half.
No,
An hour and a half.
I'm saying everybody's got a different.
It's too long. It's too long.
So that's also important to know.
So quick shout outs.
When I point like
we have
this,
now. I know.
no one
So we
sees
have
who I'm
Nam
pointing to.
currently. Yes, they do. I see it. That's what's important. So we have Nam here on Instagram. We have Earl Vinish. We have Michelle Morris, realtor. Michelle Morris, one of our top broker here at the office at Héritage.
And Michelle, while you're there, I've been asking. I want you on the show. I want to talk about the rentals. You're an expert in that rental business, so amongst other things, but it's something that would be kind of interesting to discuss.
Michelle, the invitation has been sent. You are invited officially next week. Let's make it happen. And what else? What was it?
I don't know. You were just naming who.
I'm naming it. Yeah, I'm good.
So we don't have any questions. Do we have a question?
No, Steve Steve Thacker has a comment. He said, when you're self-employed, you have to accept that you are the CEO and the dishwasher, period. You have to
Yes.
do what everything it takes to succeed. Every task is important.
Amen to that.
Important and not necessarily pleasant. Do you recall not that long ago I had the plunger in my hands here
Yeah.
because we couldn't wait for someone
Yeah.
else to do it, and I
Yeah.
had to go, and there was some
Visual stuff.
I won't go into but there's splashing, and you're wearing a suit and a tie. Sometimes
to do
things
what
Suddenly-
get crazy in there.
Suddenly moving tables seems a lot more fun now.
Yes, it's
See,
all
perspective.
Put it in perspective.
Perspective.
So go and look at your calendar, your Google Calendar, top left, I believe.
Yes.
It's going to give you those statistics. There's many other statistics that you can find out. I actually clicked on, it says more analytics or something like that, and it starts giving you who are the people that you meet the most with and for how long. And it's very interesting.
Very cool. Very cool. We have something? Oh,
We got to go. We're going to lose the battery. And
tomorrow.
Jeff told me, don't talk about that, but I'm not paying attention. Yes, let's talk about tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Exciting
What are we
news.
doing tomorrow?
We're going to be at the Francois Mackay's office. But I want to clarify. The goal is to have people from different backgrounds, different business models.
Yes.
There's not one way to have success in real estate or in business for that matter, but you'll see tendencies and trends, and I think Francois has a lot to offer and to share. I hope he opens up about what he
No,
does,
he
but
will. I'm pretty
the
sure.
show is about helping brokers. It's about sharing. It's about collaboration. It's not about banners and all of that stuff. So if you have questions for him, please reach out, send it to us now, or wait till tomorrow. We can put my phone number there, please. You can text me the questions. I won't say your name. It's okay if you don't want. And we had Wassim Ibrahim,
Last week,
number one broker at Remax, and
2021.
that shared a bunch of stuff. That was great. Go back to the episode. So if you yourself want to be on the show and have something to share with the real estate
Or
brokers or
if you know
mortgage brokers,
someone, if you
or
know
you know
someone
someone,
that has a lot to share, a
if you
lot to
think
share.
your owner of your agency or your agency director or someone doing training has something of value to offer, we'll go to to their offices. We'll move. We're mobile, and we'll share. That's the whole point of this show. So with that, we wish you a nice evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow.